Hello, 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 hello.
Welcome to the Fuckcast.
Hello, hello. It's the Fuckcast.
Fuckcast.
We're fucking for an hour, yeah.
Fuckcast.
Fucking for an hour, yeah, yeah.
It smells like fucking here. Well, anyway, welcome to the ninth. Are we on the ninth episode?
No.
This is the ninth episode.
The ninth episode of the Chill Spot Podcast.
We're almost in the double digits.
Dude, we're almost 10 years old. That's crazy.
I would love to do this for 10
We're gonna be
years.
allowed on the field soon. Isn't that wild? Did your school ever have that? Did your school have a field, like a play field?
Yeah, we were always allowed on it though.
When I was in elementary school, because we were a K-8 school.
Yeah.
Well, the kindergartners always had to stay in like their little cage.
Yeah.
I guess you could say is what it is.
Yeah.
And any kid, oh yeah, there's a whole thing to this. If you were in grade, I think 4 and up, you could go on the field with the big kids.
Ooh.
Because the big kids would do like physical shit. They would play like soccer.
They
and,
figured
like,
you were old enough to take a hit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
However, when I was in grade 4, they fucking changed it to grade 6.
Oh, that's bullshit. Oh my god, did not even grade 5? You had to
Grade
wait an additional
6.
2 school years
Two
to go on
more
the field?
fucking years.
You were robbed.
I was robbed.
You were robbed. That's robbed time.
Oh, you know what? Actually, I think I remember this wrong. It wasn't that it was changed, but they did renovations on the field when I was in grade 4 that took until grade 6 to finish.
Okay. That's bullshit,
Fucking
though.
bullshit.
That's terrible timing.
Fucking, how about that shit, God?
Did I ever tell
I
you
went to one
about...
of your schools for that shit. Ridiculous. In my fucking opinion.
God.
Yeah.
I love how you yell at celestial beings on our podcast, because like sometimes you just like yell at the internet as a whole.
Yeah.
You'll be like, so everybody out there, a hot dog is technically a sandwich.
Dude,
and it's like, who are you yelling at?
That's a sensitive topic.
Who are you
bring that
yelling
up
at?
in the podcast? Like,
No, I'm not gonna bring that up.
You were
on the
about to
podcast.
say.
Did I ever tell you about like the setup though of my elementary school?
No.
We should. I swear to God, I should take you there one day. Obviously, after school hours.
Yeah, I'll just go there during recess, try to blend in.
No, just to show you, because I live so close to it. I do live within walking distance of it. But my public elementary school backed onto a Catholic elementary school, a K-8.
That's actually the opposite setup of what we had. Okay. Our field connected to Castlebridge Elementary School.
Yeah, we shared a field. Yeah,
a public school.
Yeah, that was how my setup worked. So sometimes our recesses would kind of mingle together, and we would be outside at the same time. So like, you just kind of look across the field, and like they're the Catholic kids.
There's the fucking Catholic kids.
Those fucking Catholic kids. And like we did hate them. We fucking hated them.
We hated Castlebridge too.
I remember the biggest issue. So, kind of where our fields connected, there was this giant sinkhole that led to, and there was like a sewer grate at the bottom of the hole, for draining, so that the field didn't turn into a giant pond.
Right.
So, we were convinced that the hole was deep. It was deep enough that if you kind of like ducked down, or like if you sat cross-legged on the ground, like the teachers couldn't see you. Teachers who were patrolling the field, so it was like coveted ground because you could get up to some heinous shit in this hole.
Get to like outside the pants, butt touching and shit.
Yeah. Well, speaking of which, so it was always hotly debated between the Catholic school kids and the public school kids as to whose side of the field the hole was on, because it was very close. So some people, like the Catholic school kids, swore it was on their side and it was therefore their hole. Public school kids swore it was on our side, and therefore it was our hole. The Catholic school kids won because it was a K-8 school, and when you're in grade 7 and 8, you start getting into relationships. So the middle school kids would go there and make out. You couldn't hang out there because there were just these like 14-year-olds tonguing each other in the hole.
Gross.
All the time.
They were tonguing each other in the hole?
Yeah, I meant to say it like that. I said it like that on purpose.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah, which is fucking bullshit. And just like, it's literally like, it is literally licking things to claim them as your own. It's like that Cards Against Humanity card.
Yeah.
Licking things to claim them as your own, because they were just sitting there and lick each other so that no one could hang out in the hole. And it's like, fuck, I just like to give a big shout out. Fuck anybody who was in grade 7 or 8 at Our Lady of Grace Catholic School in like 2004 to 2006. You guys fucking suck, and I hate you.
I hope you're fucking tongue punching someone else's fart box
There's
now.
a tiny elementary school version of myself that fucking hates you. I don't care if you're a good person now. You fucking suck. I hate you.
That's really funny.
Yeah.
What we used to do at Our Lady of Mercy, it's funny that the schools are so similar to name.
All Catholic schools are basically the same thing. It's Saint something, Our Lady of something.
Yeah, Our Lady of Mary Jane.
Yeah.
The song
Teresa,
by Tom
fucking,
Petty.
Yeah.
And so Castlebridge, I guess they had like a flatter field, so like there was more snowfall and stuff.
You're right.
So they would build like big snowballs
Forts.
to make like snowmen out of, right?
Okay.
So what we would do, because our recesses weren't aligned, or no, we would get out of school earlier.
Okay.
Like 10 to 15 minutes earlier.
Yeah.
We would go over there and like break them, just like with my steel-toed boots, just like fucking break this shit. And it's really funny. So
Man, that's the law of the jungle, though. That's
100%.
the law of the schoolyard jungle.
So
I don't even count that
better.
as bullying. It's not even that mean.
It gets better. My cousins who aren't Catholic, Olivia and Julia,
Okay.
went to Castlebridge.
Yeah.
And apparently, next time my cousins came over, they were like, yeah, they were telling us about these big kids from Lady of Mercy who like went over and like broke the snowballs. It was me. I was fucking me.
You broke your cousin's snowman. That's so funny.
I was a shit kid. Did you ever get blamed for something in elementary school you didn't do?
Yes. Oh my god. I think about this all the time, and I get so fucking mad. So for context,
to this day.
For context, there was this teacher at my elementary school that was universally loved. Her name was Mrs. Marigold. If she is still out there and listening to this for some reason, please know that I love you, and you are just an angel in disguise. She was the kind of person who always should have been a teacher and was a teacher, and it was marvelous, and it was perfect, and it flowed, and it was lovely. And I never had her as a teacher, but she always liked me. She knew my name. We had a relationship. Like, we had a rapport. And I loved her. I still love her to this day. And like her name is Mrs. Marigold. Like it's a fucking flower. It's so nice.
It's a fucking Harry Potter name.
It's so nice.
Alicia Marigold.
Yeah.
Of House Ravenclaw.
Exactly. And so I loved this teacher so much, and everybody did. My entire friend group did. So I had this friend in elementary school named Ozzy. And
his name was Ozzy?
His nickname was Ozzy.
Oh.
And
on his birth certificate? Like...
I also had low-key had a crush on Ozzy.
Who didn't you have a crush on? Every person you tell a story, if it's a guy, you mentioned that they had a crush. You had a crush on them.
I love love, and I've loved love since I was a kid.
You were a horny little girl.
I wasn't horny. I wanted to be in love. So I had a big crush on Ozzy, but nobody was checking for me with my like shitty curly hair that I didn't know how to control and was always in an ugly ponytail, and I didn't know how to dress myself. I had the ugliest outfits all the time.
This was meant to be a funny story.
And I liked him so much. And one day we were playing outside. It was winter, and I remember it was very icy on the playground at the time. They had like warned us to be careful. And my friends and I were running around at recess, and Ozzy and I ran behind the portable, and he fell very badly. Like, he hurt himself really badly. And nobody saw what happened. But somehow it turned into Sam pushed Ozzy on the ice.
Wow.
I don't know how it happened. I never did it. And Ozzy, for some fucking reason, told everybody that I punched him. He fucking lied. Like, to my face. He made it the fuck up. I didn't touch shit. Sam. I didn't do anything.
Sam?
Yes.
Did you push Ozzy?
No, I didn't. I liked him so much. I would have never hurt him. I thought he was so cute. I wanted him to like me. I wanted nothing more than for him to like me.
Why did he not defend you?
I don't know. It drove me fucking crazy. It was like the first time I ever remember feeling fucking crazy because nobody would believe me, even though I was telling the absolute truth.
You got gaslit. It's like grade 6.
Truthfully. So it was a whole thing, because Ozzy was also a really popular kid, so it got buzzy, and the teachers got a hold of it, and no one told on me, but I remember walking in after that recess, and I looked, obviously I was like almost as tall as I am now in elementary school, so I looked out over a crowd of kids, and Mrs. Marigold was standing at the door letting all the kids into her classroom, and I was turning into my classroom. And she looked at me, and she gave me this, like, I'm so disappointed in you look in my face. And my heart just dropped. Oh, no. And I never got to explain myself. because no one ever, like, it didn't escalate
Right.
at all. Like, no teachers ever got involved, really. But
you
obviously
keep-
she heard them, like, talking.
Yeah.
Like, she heard students talking about Sam pushed Ozzy on the playground and he slipped on the ice and hurt himself really badly. And so she gave me that, like, I'm so disappointed in you look. And I never got to explain myself. To this day, everybody thinks that I pushed fucking Ozzy on the playground.
Wow.
I didn't do it.
Wow.
I never did it.
That's crazy.
Yeah, I don't know how it happened. I don't know how the narrative got out that, like, Sam pushed Ozzy, because I denied it. But because Ozzy was so popular and he was, like, cute, I wasn't the only girl who had a crush on Ozzy, might I add.
Okay.
It was very popular to have a crush
know.
on Ozzy at the time. He was very cute. Yeah. And just no one believed me.
Wow.
'Cause I was an ugly...
Did you stop being friends with Ozzy after that?
No. We were still friends.
Yeah.
Yeah. The way kids do, you know, you just, like, stuff just gets forgotten about. You're just gonna move on. But, yeah. That really hurt me. It still kind of hurts me to this day because I can never really let anything go. But it just, you know, you just, have you ever been telling the truth and no one believes you and you just go fucking crazy?
Yeah, no,
You're
yeah.
like, how is this happening? I am doing everything that my parents ever told me to do. I'm being truthful. I'm being honest. I didn't hurt anybody. I didn't do anything.
Mm-hmm.
And, like, I punched my fair share of boys in elementary school. But, like, I didn't do it.
Oh, yeah.
I really didn't do it.
I got blamed for something in a few things. A less harmful one was in elementary school where I got blamed for throwing a snowball at a teacher.
Oh, shit.
And, because there was a huge, like, okay.
That's a suspension.
There was, like, a snowball war that broke out between our school and Castlebridge.
Proper war.
No, straight up. Like, 40 kids on each side,
Yep.
like, whipping snowballs at each other.
Yep.
And, like, I can cop to that. I was involved in that.
Yeah.
Like, I won't deny that to this day.
Yeah.
But I did not throw a snowball at a teacher.
Yeah.
But I got blamed. I got brought to the office. And, like, my parents were always good. They always trusted me. Where I was like, they could tell if I was lying.
Yeah.
Like, I'm fucking bawling in my mom's arms because I'm so scared that I'm going to be in trouble.
Yeah.
So, like, obviously I didn't throw the fucking snowball.
Yeah.
Like, of course you didn't throw it.
Nobody, yeah.
And, like, I was a nice enough kid in elementary school, so I didn't really go anywhere.
Yeah. Your reputation preceded you. You never did that.
The thing to this day that I haven't necessarily been able to get back from is something that actually didn't even happen. And I never found out who started spreading this rumor.
Mm-hmm.
And, like, I don't think this is anything anyone would even remember, but, like, we like to joke about it in my friend group. Where it's like, I went to the Bread and Honey Festival in Streetsville. Do you know what that is?
No.
So the Bread and Honey Festival in Streetsville is essentially a fair that goes up at Streetsville I don't know if they do it anymore, but every year.
Okay.
And you go and you get lemonade and you ride some rides and you play some games and you get bread and honey. Like, it's
Just honey on bread?
yeah, it's crazy.
Honey on plain bread.
There's also stabbings every year. Yeah, it's one of those. It's a cesspool,
Yeah,
essentially.
Kitchener has that problem too sometimes.
Because it's all of the high schools in the area coming to one place,
Yeah.
and that's just never a good idea.
Yeah, it's like a turf war.
One of the times I went to Bread and Honey was also one of the first times I ever did chew.
Okay.
Or like chewing tobacco.
Yeah, yeah.
Or dip.
Yes.
Dip. So I packed a fat lip.
Yeah.
And I was walking around spitting on stuff. Like,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
and I, like every other time I did dip, got really fucking sick because that's what happens. If you
It's
swallow dip
disgusting.
at all, you're going to throw it up.
Ew.
That's just the end of the. Like, it's just you'll feel sick and nauseous and you'll throw up.
Ew.
So I was sick that evening, but I vividly remember being sick. Like, I was with my buddies from high school. Someone else was driving, and we had parked in like a parking lot where there was like I guess like a forklift or like one of those like. I don't know. I have earthly idea what it's called, but a construction vehicle.
Yeah.
And I walked over behind it and threw up behind that.
Okay.
Went home, whatever. 2 weeks later, someone comes up to me and was like, "Cameron, I heard you like spit on some girl's shoes."
Oh.
And I was like, "What? When did that happen?" Like, I don't know. That's what I heard. So I obviously started being like, "Well, no, I clearly didn't spit on someone's shoes."
Yeah.
I was like dipping that evening, so I was like spitting, but I wasn't spitting on people.
Yeah.
It then escalated to I spit on a girl.
Oh.
Yeah. Like, it was going around that I just spit on some girl.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, how is this getting worse? I'm doing nothing but denying it. I'm like, I obviously did not spit on someone.
Yeah.
Or someone's shoes.
Yeah.
And then it escalated that I threw up on a girl. And I was like, I don't know what to tell you. I obviously did not.
Yeah.
You don't think I'd remember something like that?
Yeah.
You don't think that whoever this mysterious girl who never got
Also,
a name...
Like, there's a difference between spitting on someone and vomiting on someone. Vomiting on someone is almost always an accident.
Yeah.
Like, spitting on someone is like you're trying to tell them that you fucking disrespect them.
Pretty easy, you know?
Yeah.
Pretty easy differentiation. But to this day... I've never heard the girl's name that I apparently vomited on.
I was gonna say, could no one ever name who you spat on / vomited on?
Clearly, someone just had it out for me, and they wanted to fucking spread a rumor. Or they're upset that I was too perfect.
Or maybe when boy, maybe when you were spitting, you like hit someone's shoe. And it sounded like you spat on them from their perspective. You
know me. I was pretty conscious of where I was spitting.
Still, I don't trust the fact that no one can name the person that you spat on.
Yeah.
/ vomited
Obviously,
on.
it's just a rumor.
Yeah.
But, like, now...
you would never spit on anybody.
With my friend...
you spit on me all the time, but that's a kink that I have.
Yeah, she's into that.
Yeah.
No, it was jarring at first, but we're into it, yeah.
Yeah.
Like, ugh, spit in my hand. Mm-hmm. Or somewhere weird.
Yeah.
Like, fucking spit in my armpit. Rub it around.
Cameron just mimed the act of, like, rubbing something in with your elbow.
Yeah, no, it's you spit. I spit in your armpit, and then you make wet, sopping armpit fart noises.
Yeah,
and that really gets you off.
Yeah,
that's like the kinkiest of kinks.
Yeah, it's very audible.
We don't fuck with that daddy shit. That's fucking vanilla shit. Yeah, that's vanilla shit.
Oh, you still call people daddy?
Oh,
you don't let your boyfriend spit on you?
If I'm not bleeding at least a little bit by the end of sex, did we even have sex?
What is this, 50 Shades of Grey, weak-ass bitch? Man, so I am the only person here who has read any bit of 50 Shades of Grey.
For some reason.
I must tell you, I'm not into BDSM at all, but that is some of the weakest shit I've ever... This book was pitched to me as, like, the kinkiest... Like, it's insane how popular it is because it's so kinky. Yeah. You would think that it would be, like, folded deep into the realm of, like, the erotica community, and they would just, like, have their heyday with that. But this was, like, a mainstream erotic novel that got nasty. No, it doesn't.
Nasty.
No, it doesn't. Do you know what pushes Anastasia over the edge at the end of book 1?
Doesn't she get, like, spanked too hard or something?
He spanks her too hard. Which is totally fair and totally valid. It is not the kinkiest thing.
Well, no.
In the world. That's not even the kinkiest thing mentioned in his, like, red room.
Spanking is, like, a part of, like...
It's painful.
Well, how should I say this? It's like, this might be revealing too much about myself. I don't think, I didn't even know spanking was really, like, a part of, quote-unquote, BDSM.
Yeah.
Kind of just thought it was, like... You test the waters.
Yeah.
And then, like, if you get a negative reaction, you just stop.
I don't know. It's like...
And if you get a positive reaction, well,
like
you know.
Letting dough rise, you know? You spank your partner.
Yeah, right exactly.
Before, you know, it's like the good shit that you do before you devour the good shit.
Yeah.
You know?
Exactly. You gotta let that dough rise.
You gotta let the dough rise before you have good dough. You gotta spank... You gotta spank your partner.
You gotta kiss her neck. You gotta kiss her arms. You gotta kiss her fingers.
You gotta spank her booty a little bit.
Slap her ass.
Yeah. And you're ready to go.
Yeah.
She's all warmed up.
Just tick those boxes, boys.
Yeah.
Just listen, if a girl doesn't let you suck her toes, then I think you need to reconsider your option.
She's not warm yet.
Yeah. God, don't phrase it. I would like to. Okay, I'm gonna be the one to clarify this time around that I did not phrase it like that.
You see how tempting it is. You were always giving me shit for being like, don't shit on my jokes, don't shit on my jokes. You understand the impulse to clear yourself, right?
Yeah.
You feel like you have
that particular
because
instance.
You feel the publicness of it all. You know, just like I needed to tell everybody that I don't derive pleasure from torturing animals.
Right.
You need to clarify.
But that is something you do.
Oh my fucking god. Obviously. You feel the need to clarify.
Yeah.
Like, listen, I need you. Please. Please.
No.
Please know.
Listen.
Please know this about me.
Let me just say, the only reason I did that just now is because you described women being ready for sex as whether or not she's warm. First of all, gross.
Yeah. It's also gross to torture animals and talk about blending them into smoothies and stuff.
You're right.
So,
I mean, listen.
yeah.
Okay, like we walked. Okay, I came into Sam's house a couple days ago, and I swear to God, like she wheeled back and fucking punted Apollo down this flight of stairs.
Oh my God.
He was minding his own business.
Shut the fuck
He was
up.
minding his
You
own
haven't
business.
been in my house for weeks. You're so just such a dick. Oh my
I walked in on
God.
Sam stomping on her cat. She was like, "Fuck you, Apollo! Fuck you! I hate you!"
Oh my God.
Oh God. Yeah.
No, like last time Cam and I were like getting intimate, he full on like inserted a thermometer into my anus to make sure that I was ready.
Make sure you're warm enough.
Yeah. Yeah, I was
Hey,
like,
you're under the fever. I think we should stop.
are you sick?
Yeah.
You're like really warm.
Yeah. I like
Yeah.
take the thermometer out and like put it in my armpit.
Yeah.
This is weird.
Yeah. I want to talk about something that happened to you recently. And
Sure.
for the first time, I've always known that, like, I would defend you forever. Like, I've had plenty of nightmare where, like, something bad happens to you and you're dangling off the ledge of a cliff and I'm doing everything in my power to save you. I know that I am defensive of you. But I had my first real life, like, interaction with feeling like I wanted to just defend the shit out of you.
Right.
Somebody was mean to you on Twitter.
It's,
Somebody was rude to you. Somebody was mildly rude to you on Twitter, which is more realistic as to like the kind of like malice that you in your life would encounter. So it's like a realistic version of like me getting defensive about you over you.
Someone took something that I said on Twitter more personally than I meant it.
Yeah. And they responded with like that shitty, lazy, stupid, weak
Get into it.
reaction line, which is, it's a joke, don't read into it. So like, okay, full context. Someone made like a joke on Twitter about how like DMs work so hard to, or you think that being a DM in Dungeons and Dragons is like being a master storyteller and like helping your friends get involved in this like world that you've built, when really it's just like teaching a bunch of children how to roll dice or something like that. And then you responded with like, this is not my experience, but I see this comment a lot. The group that I play with is really amazing, and it is kind of your job as a DM to help them. Like, don't be like, you don't whine about it so much. This is your job. And they responded with, it's just a joke.
Yeah.
And it took everything inside of me to be like,
You were gonna have
don't be mean to my boyfriend. Leave him alone.
I thought I was very
He's being
articulate.
I thought that your response, and like again, I am your girlfriend, but I thought that your response was very articulate and smart and well thought out, and it was nice because you said nice things about your D&D group, and like the people that you play D&D group, I'm friends with all of them. Pretty close friends with all of them, actually.
Yeah.
So like I thought that it was very nice and fair to them. So I loved what you said, and for him to just weakly respond, it's just a joke. Don't read. It's not that deep, fam. Shut the fuck up.
Well,
Leave my smart, eloquent boyfriend alone.
Oh my.
How dare you?
Thank you. I know.
I hate him and I love you.
Do you think if you saw that guy in the street you'd fight him?
Ooh, I would fuck his shit up. Ooh,
Like
man.
if you saw his
Ooh, baby.
his like inkwell profile picture face.
Ooh,
like,
it is Inkwell. Oh,
like walking through the
bitch.
streets.
Ooh, just use regular black and white, you motherfucker. Oh, I hate him so much. I hate him. He's so stupid. Oh my god. And it's just like, that's so lazy, you know?
It is
like,
very lazy.
If he didn't like what you had to say, he could be like, oh yeah, well this isn't really my experience, but it's actually this, that, and the other thing, and that's why I wrote this. You know, like, you could write something half-assed. I just think it's just a joke, don't read into it too much, is just such a lazy response.
You know what's funny, Sam?
If your joke was not to be taken seriously, then maybe write better jokes.
So you'll appreciate this.
You're
then.
not funny.
I wanted his profile, and apparently he's like a popular.
So did I.
Oh, did you? He's a popular, I guess, like D&D Twitter
like,
personality,
account. Yeah,
right?
yeah.
And he had tweeted, his pinned tweet was something along the lines of like, "What you think being a DM is," and it's like, the same setup as as the one that I quoted.
Oh, it's not just the same tweet?
No, it's a different tweet. He's just recycling jokes.
So he writes more boring jokes. He has more than one boring, stupid, poorly formed joke that he then tweets out for the whole world to see, further poisoning the knowledge of humanity. Got it.
Hey, listen.
Understood.
I would just like to say that I have to admit when I say that the D&D online community is actually one of the most supportive communities in the world.
That guy sucks, though.
He's from the UK. Maybe he was being smarmy.
What the fuck ever. Oh, my God.
Hey, thank you that you defended me on Twitter.
I love you so much.
I love you, too.
I would... Oof, I would fight anyone for you. It just proved it, you know? It just proved... And, like, I didn't expect to have such a visceral reaction, because I literally, like... I read that tweet at work. And
you texted me immediately about it. Immediately.
Because I was vibrating. Like, I was, because the malice was inside of me. I had what I wanted to say all planned out, and I had to draw it back because you responded to him and you were very cordial. You were like, well, you know.
Come on, buddy.
Sorry, I didn't mean, you know, I truly didn't mean anything harmful to you personally. It's something that I noticed in the community as a whole. Yeah. And I just wanted to comment on it. Your tweet just so happened to be the one that sparked the thought in me, and I tweeted about it with your tweet. You were very diplomatic. So I didn't want to come in angry girlfriend style.
What the fuck is your problem?
When you had already responded so kindly to it, I didn't, you know, I was like, well, just let the situation be extinguished. But, like, it would just know that it was in me. Like, I was ready. Like, I couldn't believe it, you know? Like, because you're my first, like, really serious, like, you're the longest relationship that I've ever been in. That's how I should say that. You are the longest relationship I have ever been in. And, you know, 3 years strong. I don't feel any reason to end it anytime soon. And that is amazing. I take pleasure in that every day. And I always thought that because of that, I would defend you no problem. But I've just, you know... It felt really good, but it also felt really, really, like, scary that knowing that I would walk that walk, you know? Like, it wasn't just a big talk.
Right.
I'm not just, like, an angry little poodle who won't do anything. Right. I am a fucking...
You're a fierce hound.
I'm a fucking Great Dane. Yeah. And I will tear you limb from limb if you hurt my boyfriend.
You had a similar Twitter situation, actually, where you were tweeting about the Ontario School Board cutting French as a class. And someone, like, quote tweeted you. You were like, something along the lines of, like, how the fuck can we cut French as a class? It's the second national language of the country.
Yeah.
And someone quote tweeted you with, not anymore, biatch. I was like, well, to be honest, like, I didn't react quite like you did, because I didn't think it was rude enough. Like, I was like, this guy's an idiot. Like, I just thought it was funny. Yeah. And you handled it. You were like, it's actually still the second national language of the country, so...
And he turned out to be joking, and I think that kid is in high school, so, like, I'm not gonna bully a child.
Yeah, he also said biatch, right? Like, he could have been like...
I don't think he was 100% serious. I think he responded to it, too, and he was like, oh, yeah, no, like, I was joking, but, like... Yeah, no, it's just like, I'm glad that I don't have to take it anymore. Which, like, fair. Yeah. Like, it's very common for high schoolers in Ontario to not want to take French by high school. They're sick of it.
I wish I stuck with it, though.
I wish I had to.
I wish it was presented to me in a better way.
Yeah.
Because, like, in elementary school, it's not like... First of all, like, you don't... When I go into French class, it's not like, hey, you're going to learn another language.
Yeah.
How cool was that, kids?
Yeah.
It's like, okay, here's French.
Some, like, really fucking frustrated, like, 50-year-old teacher who is, like, days away from collecting their pension comes in and they're like, oh, this is, okay, time to learn colors, kids.
Yeah. Rouge. Blue.
They put on a fucking Greg LaRock CD and they're like, do you know how to talk about pizza in French now?
Yeah.
Okay, fine. I'm fucking gonna go smoke a cigarette now.
I'm gonna smoke a cigarette in the bathroom. No one come in here. I'll fucking kill you. It's like, whoa. No, yeah. It's funny, right? Because I think if someone presented to me, young Cameron, little boy, me, being like, listen, you can learn another language. Like, you can actually be able to talk to other people. I might have seen the value in it. But then
it's hard to say.
Oh, it's tough, because I speak in retrospect because I'm fucking...
Yeah,
it's been
you're rational now.
It's been 20 years.
It's hard to communicate to children why they need to take advantage of their current brain matter as it is. Because you absorb things so much better as a child. It's better to teach kids another language when they're young.
Actually, you know what? Not to pull a non sequitur here, but I learned something really interesting on the internet a couple days ago. Do you know what grounding is? Not like go to your room grounding.
Okay.
So grounding is this weird psychological thing you can do with kids. So kids, when they're young, go on illogical tangents. Where it's like, one of my favorite things to ask Reddit threads to browse is like, hey parents, like, what's the last like illogical thing your kid got upset about? And I was like, one parent was like, yeah, my kid started going into a crying fit because he couldn't wear sandals in December. Like, it's like shit like that, right? Like, it makes you laugh. But apparently, a helpful technique I've learned is that when a kid gets to an illogical tangent, instead of feeding the tangent or trying to explain why it's illogical, simply ask them a logical question.
Okay.
How many shoes do you have? Are your shoes on? Shit like that. Because it short wires their brain in the middle of their illogical tangent and makes them think, well, how many shoes do I have? Oh, I have 2 shoes. What was I mad about?
Interesting.
Kind of thing. It's like some weird phenomenon.
Like, okay, you just flip their brain on another side.
You essentially turn their brains on and off.
Oh.
You go, yeah.
Interesting.
I don't know if that works.
Yeah.
Some internet man told me.
Yeah.
So, you know. But it's...
I mean, I'd be willing to try it.
I thought that was kind of cool.
That sounds perfect for me because, not to say that I would ever hit a child. But
no.
Spanking your child is a very quick way to get them to stop being illogical.
Definitely.
You know? I got spanked when I was a kid, very sparingly. I think I only got spanked twice in my life. And really, if I'm being realistic, I remember being spanked once.
Me too, actually.
So, like, I say twice because it definitely happened more than once, but I only remember being spanked once in my life.
I was spanked once. I know exactly what happened.
And
I actually remember it clear as day.
Yeah.
Talking about spanking.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of how to word
We're talking about spanking again.
I don't... Damn. It's really happening. I remember it solving the problem very quickly.
Oh, yeah.
I was having a tangent, and I stopped having one immediately. Obviously, that is not the ideal way to deal with children. It is the fastest, but it is not the most ideal.
I mean, it depends, I think, but yeah.
You know, I want to solve problems fast with kids, but I don't want to hit them. So that, I will take any shortcut I can get my hands on. I'll try anything.
Yeah.
Because I don't want to use something as traumatizing as spanking, but I do want the tantrum to be over fast. Because I know if I am ever faced, if/when we have kids, if they ever have a tantrum, I hate being a spectacle in public in that respect. I hate being the center of a negative public spectacle. And being, like, dealing with a crying kid who is not like an infant and that's their only means of communication. Like, that's so embarrassing. So, yeah, fuck it. I'll try grounding. Are you kidding me? That sounds great.
Cool, right?
If you can get through the tears and be like, how many shoes do you have? What shoes do you have on right now? Like, I'll fucking try it. Whatever.
Could work, right?
Yeah.
Actually, so it's funny. The story that I have when I was spanked, I remember exactly. Because there was a Family Guy episode when I was very young, which had... Peter getting like kicked in the balls a lot, and I thought it was the funniest thing ever. Like I used to watch like YouTube videos of people getting kicked in the nuts.
Yeah,
like it was just what I was into.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah. So we all had that phase.
One time I was like, ooh, I know what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna hide in my bathroom, and then whoever opens the door, if it's a dude, I'm gonna punch them in the balls. Because I was like
excuse me?
I don't know. It's just like when I was a kid, I guess I just wanted to fuck some shit up. So I like hid in the upstairs bathroom and I was like waiting there.
Yeah.
And then I opened the door and it's dad.
Yeah.
And I stood up and fucking
you punched
him in the balls. I punched him in the balls.
You punched your own father in the nutsack.
I punched him in the balls. I punched him really hard.
How have I never heard this story
in
before?
The balls. And then he picked me up and spanked me. But it was like, I was very young. I was like a toddler. Just a little more than a toddler.
Yeah.
I was old enough to be conscious, obviously.
You're old enough to watch fucking Family Guy clips.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess that's a crazy thing to think about. I'm pretty sure it was Family Guy. I might have just been the YouTube videos.
Yeah.
But anyway, he spanked me. It was one firm spank.
Yeah.
And I swear to God, I've never punched someone in the balls ever again.
See, that's the thing, too, is that, like, my idea of spanking, I think, is different than everybody else's.
Yeah.
Because... I only got, like I got spanked like you. It was one firm but hard slap to the butt. And then it was to your room, sit in your room until I fucking come get you. And it also always happened at home, and I never got spanked in front of other people. Because I've heard the humiliation of having it happen in front of, like, siblings or, like, guests can humiliate the child and be traumatic for them. And
so you get generalized anxiety at 7 years old.
I remember, and I don't know, maybe this is my trauma brain protecting me, but I I very strongly remember being alone at home.
Yeah, me too.
The only people in the house were like my mom and my dad spanked me because I was truly throwing a fucking tantrum. It wouldn't stop. I don't know why. I was just throwing a fucking tantrum and I would not stop crying. My dad was like, if you don't stop acting out, I'm going to spank you.
Mm-hmm.
And he warned me twice.
And he spanked you and you were like, oh.
Are you sexualizing me?
No.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
I mean, maybe.
A little bit.
A little bit.
But yeah, it was one hit. I think that some parents spank their kids and it's multiple hits.
Yeah.
Like, it's a lot of hitting.
Well, at what point does spanking become just beating your kid?
Yeah.
Like, after, like, 3 licks,
I know
you
a
just,
lot of people, like, described it as, like, a fine line between the two. So I think that might also be why I have a different view of spanking.
Mm-hmm.
I still don't think I would ever use it with my children.
No, I have no
think
plans
that there
to hit
I
my
think
kids.
that there are better ways, but I also think that, like, the conversation around spanking, yeah. I don't say anything because, like, it's still hitting children. You shouldn't hit children.
Well, because you teach children that that's how you're supposed to handle things.
Yeah.
That when you get too upset, you get physical.
Yeah.
And that's a learned behavior.
And clearly that hasn't bode well for some people. And
naturally.
If it doesn't bode well for even one child who grows up and becomes, deals with trauma, becomes aggressive or whatever, then that's enough for me to be like, fuck spanking, we're never going to touch this again.
Yeah.
That wasn't my experience with spanking. That's all I'm saying.
Speaking of personal trauma.
Yeah.
Getting
welcome to Chill Spot, everybody. Speaking of personal trauma.
No, okay, you might not think this is funny. I think this is a funny story.
Yeah.
So in first year, I broke up with my long-term high school girlfriend.
Yeah.
And
no, I'm not gonna. I've heard she's a very nice person, so I'm not even gonna jokingly, especially on a public forum,
literally nothing but nice things to say.
Because I've heard she's very
about
nice
my ex-girlfriend.
You've only spoken highly of your ex-girlfriend to me.
It's because she deserves it.
Yeah.
She works hard and is good at what she does.
Yeah.
So when we had broken up, though, I didn't react to it very well.
Yeah.
And it was a very negative time in my life. I was like, I was just very depressed, you know. And at the same time, we were in school. We went to theater school. Sam and I went to the same theater program, if we hadn't mentioned it already. And we had this brilliant acting teacher named Heather Hill. Now, Heather Hill, for anyone at the UW Theater Performance Program, she's a genius.
Universally loved.
Yeah. Like, I think her
reputation always precedes her.
Yes.
They say, "Oh, you have Heather Hill for 221."
Oh,
she's great. You're gonna have a great time.
Yeah, it's gonna be a good time. So, I love Heather Hill. She taught me so much. She was explaining to us actions and how you can inform your partner's reaction if you give them a good giving. This might not mean anything, but when you give an actor energy, when you put something out, you want it to be reciprocated.
Yes.
She used me as an example suddenly in one of my classes, where she looked at me and she's like, she's like, you want to give people energy, you want to give out what you take, like for instance, okay, Cameron, she turns to me and goes, "Why do you look so sad? Why do you look so sad?
Oh my God.
Why do you look so sad?" And clearly it's just an example.
Yeah.
She obviously didn't know.
Yeah.
But I swear to God, I had to, like, fucking control myself. I was like, just, like, fucking break down in class.
Oh no.
Oh,
She just read
I swear to God,
into your soul.
I didn't respond.
She opened you like a fucking book.
I didn't say anything. I was just like,
blank
stare.
Oh shit.
My whole body had to be focused on not making myself, like, burst into tears.
Yeah.
It's so fucking sad.
Oh my God.
Oh God.
I feel really bad. So this is, like, catastrophic in the world of acting, but I am not a huge fan of Shakespeare.
Yeah.
I don't like I never liked Shakespeare. I didn't like it in high school. I can kind of respect it, but, like, I have my nitpicks with the guy. I don't like him a whole lot.
Yeah.
So in Heather Hill's class, we had to do a Shakespeare monologue, and she would go through us individually, and we had to perform a monologue in front of the entire class, and then she would give you direction, and you just had to take it and take it and take it and take it. And some people were up there for a long time.
Oh yeah, some people who needed it.
Yeah.
Okay, sorry, that sounded negative.
No,
help is not a negative thing.
Yeah.
When in theater school.
Receiving notes and direction, and, like, actors love it when you just, like, I mean, like a real actor, like someone who can, like, take it. Love it when you're up there for a long time because you love getting the attention.
Totally.
And you love talking about the text and figuring it out and
it's how you further your role. It's how you get a better character.
That's how you get better at it. So some people were up there for a long time. I was one of those people. I was doing the monologue from Macbeth where Lady Macbeth is praying to like God or nature or somebody.
But to
give no, not out damn spot. This is before the murder happens.
Oh, okay.
She's like praying to the gods to give her the strength to carry out this plot that she has.
I'm not familiar with that.
She's like praying, she wants them to like rip her of everything that is human so that she can carry out this plot so that she can become
Unsex Me Here?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, it's a good monologue.
Yes. I was not prepared for it. It was too heavy for me.
It's a heavy monologue.
I shouldn't have chosen it. I was not ready, but I don't, because I don't like Macbeth a lot, I don't have a very good repertoire of Shakespeare plays to choose from. If someone is like, okay, so pick a Shakespeare monologue. I have the 4 plays that I did in high school.
Right.
That's it. That's Twelfth Night, Romeo and Juliet, Macbeth, and King Lear. I hate King Lear, and I hate Romeo and Juliet. I like Twelfth Night enough, and Macbeth is Macbeth.
Now, do you... Okay, so...
Well, let me finish.
No, you can finish.
So, I'm doing this Unsex Me Here monologue. It's very emotional, and Heather Hill is, like, trying to, like, pull... Yeah. She's telling me to raise the stakes. I can't raise the stakes because I remember that day. Give a fuck. Yeah, you were there that day. I remember being really humiliated because we had started being really close friends, and I cried. And I didn't want to cry in front of you. You specifically, because I didn't want you to think that I was weak. And even though I knew that you didn't care, whatever.
There's also nothing weak about crying.
Fine. And she's just like needling me, and this is not a slight to Heather Hill because she was doing her job.
Well, she's doing exactly what she had to do.
And I was not doing my job as an actor because I was not buying into the character at all.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't want to do it anymore. I just wanted to say my lines and be done and be let go, and she wouldn't let me because she's a fucking good acting teacher. And so she was giving me all these points, and it wasn't connecting with me, and I couldn't get the character out, and I started getting flustered, so I started crying. And I started crying out of frustration, but I wasn't letting... I was just, like, saying my monologue while crying, and she was like, perfect, you got it, and I was like...
Thank you.
I'm actually so upset right now. This is like it was
I remember that.
Lady Macbeth was not crying. It was just Sam crying and saying words. I was not acting at all.
Correct me if I'm wrong. Like,
I think she finally just took pity on me and let me
go. You went into a bit of a tangent that day, didn't you? Talking about how much you dislike Shakespeare.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it was the end of class, so I didn't get very far, which is good because no one wants to hear my I hate Shakespeare.
Especially in a room full of actors.
No one gives a fuck.
Well, yeah.
No one cares. It's fine.
I mean, I don't know if no one cares.
No one cares that you don't like Shakespeare. Like, not liking Shakespeare in the acting world is...
It's like not like Game of Thrones. Like Game of Thrones.
Saying that you don't like Shakespeare in the acting world is like being that asshole who rants about how top 40 music isn't good. Oh. It's fucking boring.
That's an apt comparison, actually.
Yeah. Like, people think you're fucking boring. Mm-hmm. You know, people love Shakespeare, and they have their right to, and Shakespeare has his substance, and, you know, he's lasted this long for a reason.
He's a great learning tool, especially for young actors.
Yeah. So it's not very cool to talk about how much you don't like Shakespeare, but I don't like Shakespeare.
So remind me the plays you did in high school?
Twelfth Night, Romeo and Juliet, and this is in order. So grade 9, 12th Night, grade 10, Romeo and Juliet, grade 11, Macbeth, grade 12, King Lear.
I did grade 9, Romeo and Juliet, grade 10, Merchant of Venice, and then grade 11, 12, and first year, King Lear.
See, you should hate Shakespeare more than I should then, because
I really like King Lear. I really like that play.
I know, we had this conversation a lot.
I like King Lear a lot.
I'm not gonna burn it into the ground because I don't want to shit on something that you obviously like a lot, so like, it's fine. I mean, I just think that...
Everything you say you don't like about it is valid.
I just think that the mechanics as to why the events of King Lear happen are just so flimsy. You know? Like, he has this... For those of you who don't know, a short synopsis of King Lear is...
King Lear's a huge baby.
Kind of.
He's a huge fucking baby.
There's this senile old king who doesn't want to be king anymore. He wants to retire from kingdom, essentially.
Yeah, what a nice thought.
And for the past couple years, as he's gotten older and less able to do things, his one daughter, he has 3 daughters, only his one daughter has stayed behind, hasn't gotten married, helped him, taken care of him in his old age. So when he decides that he's finally going to retire his kingdom and split it up amongst his children, his 3 daughters, he gathers them together in his castle and says, "Okay, here's how we're gonna do it. Here's how we're gonna split up my kingdom amongst the 3 of you so that you can rule it. Tell me how much you love me, and the person with the best answer gets the best plot of land." So the two daughters who are fucking bums and haven't done anything and haven't been seeing their dad as he's been dying slowly.
The ugly stepsisters.
Come up and say, I love you so much more than anything in the entire world. Like, you're the best father in the entire planet that I could ever hope for, and you're the best king. And they just, like, they fucking jerk him off. Like
two hands.
They shower him with compliments.
Rusty trombone.
They golden shower him with compliments.
And he's just like, oh.
And he's like, oh, yes. Oh my God, thank you so much, thank you so much, thank you.
Marry the Prince of France and have this land.
And then his third daughter, who has been doing all of the legwork, says, I've been taking care of your old ass for the past 5 years. I have forgone getting married, starting my own life, having children to take care of you. I think you know how much I love you.
Which is a perfectly reasonable thing to say.
She says it a lot nicer than than I'm saying it now. But says,
she's like, listen,
she says,
father.
I think I've proven how much I love you by how much I've been caring about you over the years. And he goes, what a terrible answer. Fuck you.
That's fucking horseshit,
you
Cordelia.
Get nothing. You get nothing.
I think her name is Cordelia.
Yeah, that sounds right. I always confuse Cordelia and Ophelia, who's Hamlet.
Right.
But he goes, fuck you, you're not my daughter anymore. And
fuck out of my land.
He marries her off to some lame prince with like a little tiny square inch of land.
He has like a castle somewhere.
And sends her away. So the daughters take the kingdom, and he's like, oh my God, you complimented me so well. I'm gonna split my time up between you two and your lovely castles that I've given you, these gorgeous plots of land.
I'm like, fuck out of here, old man.
And they treat him like shit.
Yeah.
And he obviously, because they're terrible people.
And then
he goes insane.
Yeah.
And he dies.
Long story short,
And his daughter, who loved him, dies. Yeah. It's a tragedy. It's terrible. A war breaks out. It's terrible.
It really does escalate.
A war breaks out. And I hate it so much because all of this happens because the one guy who's in control of everything says, yeah, I don't think my daughter, who's been like mopping up my shit for the past 5 years, I don't think she loves me enough.
Wiping my ass for 10 years.
And for that exact reason, I don't feel bad for Lear, and because it's that one turning point in the entire thing, I don't care about the rest of the play.
Right. Yeah.
Fuck you. Are you kidding me?
You know what's fucked up?
Like, Romeo and Juliet, I understand, because there's truly, like, miscommunication and misunderstanding and, you know, the folly of the families. Why couldn't they just get along and start out this war? Otherwise, these people could be in love, and they could live happily ever after. That, to me, has substance. That, to me, has, you know, has legs to stand on.
That's interesting.
Fuck you. You didn't stroke my ego enough, even though you've been mopping up my dirty old dusty ass for the past 5 years. That's stupid. Mm-hmm. That's lazy. I hate that.
Well, see, here's the thing. It's like I agree with everything you're saying, but the thing I won't agree with is that it's lazy. Because so lazy. King Lear is a senile old man.
I guess. Like, I just think it's lazy to lean on that.
The thing is,
all old people get old and senile eventually.
Well, no, but it's about this like ruler, this grandiose ruler who like falls and crumbles from his position and takes everything with him because it's a tragedy. Mm-hmm. What's fucked up is that in high school I had a teacher who thought all of the events of King Lear was to blame on Cordelia. Who was like, I think Cordelia is a huge fucking brat. And if you just took the L, hundreds of people wouldn't have died. You yourself would not have died. And I think, like...
No.
At the time...
That's wrong.
My, like, weird, non-feminist high school boy self was like, yeah! Upon further
Why
thinking about it...
Why couldn't you just say what he wanted to hear?
Yeah. I mean, okay, but thinking about it, though... it does fall on King Lear, and it has to fall on King Lear because of his hubris. Mm-hmm. But the thing is that what Cordelia said to King Lear is perfectly reasonable.
Yeah.
Like, if anything, she's telling you that she actually does love you.
Yes.
And that, of course, is the crux of the whole play.
Yeah.
But, yeah. It's just, I always think about that teacher from time to time. I was like, what the fuck? There was a woman, too.
Oh.
It was one of my woman English teachers who were like, if Cordelia just sucked it up and told him what he wanted to hear,
I don't like that.
None of this would have happened.
I don't like that.
I was like, rah, rah.
Yeah.
All the boys.
Although, to be perfectly fair, I wasn't completely into my feminism at the time either, and I probably would have said something similar. I mean, no, because I've always thought this since high school, that King Lear's a fucking baby. But, like, I wouldn't have rallied against that as hard as I should have.
Right.
If someone said that to me when I was in high school. So I don't blame you, because I wouldn't have done anything differently. But that's my... Thank you for humoring me, because we've had very serious conversations where you genuinely try and defend King Lear to me, so thank you for playing along.
Oh, listen, all of your criticisms about King Lear are perfectly valid.
Thank you.
And I can't stress that enough.
Thank you. And I see why you, in return, like the play.
Mm-hmm. I just think the character himself is so... It's so crazy how three-dimensional he is. And I saw a production... I shouldn't say a production. I saw like a preview of King Lear where one actor was... It was like a puppet. The King Lear was a puppet. And it was just really brilliant performance.
We saw that play.
Was it you, me, and I think Molly?
Yeah. Our friend Victoria's theater company put that on.
It was Vic, that's right.
Yeah.
And Alan, yeah.
Yeah, Alan played Lear.
And it was, I mean, well, Alan, he's a fucking god.
Yeah. He's a god
if you listen to this, I'm sorry if this is embarrassing.
No, it's not. No, it's not.
So anyway.
Stand in your glory.
I'm getting a message saying that dinner is almost ready.
Oh, shit.
So I have one last story to tell.
Okay.
And then maybe we'll wrap it up.
Okay.
I had a moment. You ever have moments where you see something and you go fucking crazy because you just can't stop thinking about it?
Side note, I think your dad's making breakfast for dinner.
Oh, he is. Did I not tell you? We're having BLTs tonight, dude. It's gonna be lit.
Hurry up and tell your fucking story.
So, I was at a four-way stop in the neighborhood a couple days ago.
Okay.
And I saw this guy crossing the street very slowly. This guy probably a little older than me. And he was a big guy. And he was walking across the street and he was really pained. Like, he's like... And he was like struggling to walk, and I was like, oh, what's going on? And then he made it across the street, reached into his pocket, and pulled out like a stack of napkins. And Sam, I swear to God, I spent the rest of the day being like, why did he have those napkins in his pocket? What was he going to do with those napkins?
Yeah.
Why did he take them out right then? What the fuck was going... Why did he have those napkins?
You didn't stick around to watch? Or did you have...
Well, I was turning. I was turning right, and there was people behind me, so like I'm not going to like pull over.
Yeah, that's
like,
literally how traffic jams
like,
start
hey,
and continue on for 4 hours.
What are you doing with those napkins?
Yeah.
Like, fuck out of here. Okay. But I swear to God, I went insane. Thinking about like all the scenarios. I was like, well, he was limping. Did he like break his leg? Is he using those napkins as like a bandage?
No, he just had a wad of napkins stuck
Why
to
did
his
he
leg.
have like 50 fucking napkins? Why do you have so many fucking napkins in his pocket?
Were they like... I don't know if you could tell, but were they like McDonald's napkins? Like
I couldn't tell. They were just white. No, they were white table napkins. Clearly from like home or something.
Like, there are like old people who just like, that's how they get their napkins. Like they just take
napkins?
They go to McDonald's and they just like take a fistful of napkins.
But what made me really inquire about it was like the way he took it out and he looked at it and he I swear to God, like he was counting money or something. Like he just like looked at it and he was like, yeah, and he put it away. So I was like, are you double checking your napkins?
Yeah.
Are you like, did you have? Oh, still got 50 in here.
You said that was like an old man.
No, he was a little older than me. He's a young man.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
And like it's not okay. I didn't mean to like. I'm not trying to get you to think too seriously about this.
Yeah.
But I seriously spent the rest of the day being like, why did he have those napkins in his pocket?
Yeah.
Who
Why did he take
you don't need that many napkins ever.
Yeah.
50? I don't use 50 napkins at dinner.
Yeah.
Let alone 50 napkins when I'm walking around the neighborhood.
Yeah. I wonder.
Insane.
That's so weird.
It was really like it really was one of those
needed
moments.
Them for something. Like maybe.
Do you have moments like that? Like you see something that you don't have all the context for, and you like, does your brain go crazy and you spend the rest of the day trying to think about what it could have been?
That happens to me all the time at work because I shop for other people's groceries for a living.
Oh God.
And I never get the context as to why they need what they need. So like, my favorite one, and I think I may have mentioned this on the podcast before, but one time this person ordered 6 cans of I think 3 or 5 liters of crushed tomato and a bunch of those, like, you know, those small snack size cans of tuna that are like flavored. There's like spicy chili Thai and lemon pepper. He ordered like a bunch of those, just all of this crushed tomato and all of this tuna.
What?
And I didn't take out the order because he picked up after my shift was done. So I never got to ask him, hey, what the fuck is up with all of this, all of these crushed tomatoes and all of this tuna? What are you doing with this?
Are you making like the world's worst tuna melt?
Yeah. What are you doing with this? I was so confused.
Here's what he likes to do. He strains the juice from the tomatoes and the tuna, and then he makes it a cocktail and shoots it back.
And like drinks it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What else do you do, right?
Yeah, that's how you get your protein, bud.
I mean, yeah, dude, you eat the tuna and
like
you
a fucking
shoot the
bodybuilder.
juice back.
Yeah. Or maybe he was making like the world's worst tomato sauce.
Oh God, tuna tomato sauce?
Yeah, yeah.
Fucking, I don't like tuna at all.
No?
I like tuna sashimi. That's just
I love
about
tuna
it.
sashimi.
You know.
Yeah.
Or I guess sushi, because I like with the rice.
Yeah.
I always get those confused. I'm a fake weeb.
Sashimi is just the raw,
Right.
like, cut of meat.
Well, anyway, guys, we're about 5 minutes shorter than we usually record.
But I gotta eat a fucking BLT.
Yeah,
Otherwise,
I'm
gonna
hungry.
fucking die.
I'm hungry AF.
What are the lessons for today? So lessons are today is King Lear's a big baby bitch.
Yeah. Don't spank your kids, but do spank your partner.
Don't spank your kids, do spank your partner. And everybody does their weird things for a reason. We just don't know what those reasons are.
There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't worry. It's okay.
Our social medias will always be in the description, as well as our channel artists.
We got the last of our art from our channel artist, Top Spin the Fuzzy, yesterday. We ironed out the details with him yesterday. And I just want to say that this has been probably one of the most fun aspects of building this channel is getting this art, and giving Jeff our notes and working with him collaboratively and
being happy with the art too, genuinely feeling like we're getting what we paid for.
He really captured us so well with very little notes, I must say.
Well, it's the art that you've been seeing since episode 1.
Yeah.
But in chronological order, we're talking about it now.
Yeah. And yeah, thank you so much.
Yeah.
The whole process was so fun. If you ever need artwork from him for any of your
his commissions
personal
are open. Go to his Twitter. Shoot him an email. He's the most pleasant guy on the planet.
They won't always be open, but when they are open, he's lovely to work with. Mm-hmm. I had the best time, and it's like Christmas.
Extremely fast.
When
and very
Cam would be like,
accommodating.
"Oh, babe, I got something. Here it is." It was like Christmas. It was great, and I loved it.
It was really great.
Yeah.
Love you, Top Spin the Fuzzy.
Yeah.
We love you, buddy.
Yeah. Thank you so much.
Yeah. And we will see you guys next week.
Next time.